They ordered her to remove the uniform until the base commander spotted the tattoo on her back. The order came without hesitation, sharp, public, meant to sting more than correct. "Remove the uniform, now!" The words echoed across the briefing room, cutting through the quiet hum of air vents and restrained breathing. Dozens of eyes snapped toward her. No one moved. No one spoke. She stood where she was, boots planted, shoulders square, hands relaxed at her sides. She had learned long ago that panic only fed people like this. "With respect, sir," the officer continued, voice raised just enough to make a spectacle of it, "your appearance violates regulation. You will remove the top layer immediately." A ripple of discomfort passed through the room. This wasn't procedure. This was theater. She nodded once, calm. "Yes, sir." Her fingers went to the buttons, slowly, deliberately. Not defiant. Not rushed. The jacket came off first. Then the undershirt followed. A few people looked away instinctively. Others couldn't. That's when the room changed. Across her upper back, just beneath the shoulder line, was a tattoo, faded at the edges but unmistakable. A unit insignia few in the room recognized immediately, but those who did felt it hit like a punch to the chest. It wasn't decorative. It wasn't casual ink. It was precise, purposeful. A mark you earned. The door at the back of the room opened quietly. No announcement, no footsteps rushed, just presence. The base commander stepped inside. He took in the scene in less than a second, the half-removed uniform, the frozen officers, the silence that felt wrong. His eyes narrowed. Not in anger, but focus. Then he saw the tattoo. He stopped walking. For a long moment he said nothing. The air seemed to thin. Even the officer who had given the order sensed something shift behind him and slowly turned. The commander stepped closer. Not to confront, to confirm. He studied the tattoo carefully. The placement, the weathering, the detail no forger ever got right. His voice when it came was low. "Where did you serve?" She answered without turning. "Joint Task Unit, forward deployment." The commander inhaled slowly. "That marking," he said, louder now, "belongs to a classified operations group that officially does not exist." Murmurs broke out before anyone could stop them. He looked at the officer who had given the order. "Do you know what you just asked?" The officer swallowed. "Sir, I was enforcing." "You were humiliating," the commander corrected. He turned back to her. "You may dress." She pulled the shirt back on, movement steady, unbothered. She'd lived through worse than stares. The commander faced the room. "That tattoo represents service beyond rank, beyond regulation, and beyond public recognition." Then he looked directly at the officer. "And you chose to challenge it publicly without review." The officer tried to speak. No sound came out. The commander's voice hardened. "You are relieved of this briefing. Report to my office immediately." The officer hesitated. "Sir?" "Now." The door closed behind him. The commander turned back to her one final time. His tone softened. "Some service is carried quietly." She nodded. "Yes, sir." As the briefing resumed, no one looked at her the same way again. They didn't see a regulation violation anymore. They saw a survivor. And no one ever ordered her to remove her uniform again. The room didn't recover when the door closed. No one shuffled, no one whispered. It was like everyone was waiting to be told how to breathe again. The base commander remained where he was, eyes still on her, not in inspection, but recognition. "You didn't need to comply," he said quietly. She answered just as softly, "I chose to." He nodded once. That told him everything he needed to know about her discipline. The commander turned to the remaining officers. "Resume seating." Chairs scraped, people moved, but the tension followed them like a shadow. He didn't sit. He paced slowly in front of the room. "What just happened," he said, "is exactly how authority becomes dangerous." No one looked up. "You don't correct soldiers by stripping their dignity," he continued. "You don't demand exposure to prove obedience, and you certainly don't do it without understanding who you're dealing with." He stopped pacing, looked back at her. "You were pulled from operations under protest." "Yes, sir." "You returned under restriction because you were asked." "Yes, sir." The commander exhaled. "That request never should have happened." A pause. Then, "Effective immediately, you're reassigned out of this chain of command." A ripple went through the room. Not shock, relief. "You'll serve as a liaison instructor, training oversight, advisory only. Medical authority remains final." She nodded. Understood. The commander turned back to the group. "Let me be clear. Some of the most dangerous people you'll ever meet don't look impressive. They don't talk loud. They don't threaten. They carry themselves like they've already survived the worst day of their life." No one missed the point. He glanced at the door where the officer had exited. "The individual who issued that order is under investigation for repeated conduct violations." That landed harder than shouting ever could. The commander faced her one last time. "Your record will remain sealed. Your service will not." She straightened. "Thank you, sir." As he turned to leave, he paused. "And for what it's worth, welcome home." The words followed her long after the room emptied. Later that day, the order came down quietly. The officer was removed from command pending review. No announcement, no spectacle. She packed her gear without ceremony. No one offered help, not out of distance, but respect. As she walked off the base floor, a few soldiers stood a little straighter when she passed. They never asked about the tattoo. They didn't need to, because everyone had learned the same lesson. Some uniforms are worn. Some are earned.